This guy is such a D.
Now, back to Steiny and Guru on 95.7 The Game.
Thank you, Steiny. Evan in for Steiny with Daryl the Guru Johnson. This is the crossover with Dan Dibley and Mark Grandi.
Yeah.
By the way, did you know it's tick season? Lyme disease is transmitted through the bite of infected ticks. So you can visit ATCO Pest Control's website today to learn more and take control at atcopestcontrol.com. What's up, boys?
Yeah, Grandi and Dibbs.
Uh-oh, Ken, got to bring him up, buddy. Mike's 2 and 5.
Yeah, look at your boy looking fresh. I like the shirt, Grant.
We're good now.
Great shirt.
I'm a Grandi
great
fan.
shirt.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Ken, I love you. You could take the hat off, but I'm going to give you a pass because
pass.
I have a deep affection for you, but how dare you?
The most famous Met
27
fan.
years in the market?
Oh, boy. Jerry Seinfeld.
That's all I have.
And counting.
Yeah. Most famous Met fan, random. Jerry Seinfeld.
Billy Crystal?
Billy Crystal.
Not bad.
You a Mets fan?
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's a Clippers fan, randomly.
Yeah. I went to Citi Field back in, must have been like 09.
How was it, Dibbs?
Awesome. I loved it. I thought it was great. You know, and Citi Field at the time was getting a lot of bad press, like, oh, it's not Shea, whatever. It's here in the middle of nowhere. I thought it was great.
Wow.
I love Citi Field.
I drove
Good
past
sight
it.
lines, beautiful. You could walk around center field, and it's a whole party happening out there.
I've only been to so is Citi Field built on the same ground as Shea Stadium, or are they
I
different?
don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, Ken, are they yay or nay?
Yeah, it would be the where the outfield was in Shea. So
Okay.
it was just extension of the parking lot.
Because I've been to Shea and I've been to Old Yankee Stadium, but I've not been to either of the new ones. And
You went to
they're both
Middle
very cool.
Yankee Stadium, not old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2.0. Yeah.
Yeah, I sat up where Bonds took Ted Lilly.
That ball's still
Wow.
going, man.
Yeah.
49er Frankie was at that game.
Really?
Yeah, Giants.
That ball's headed for New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't get there, but
Yeah, they could use a Bonds
It came
now. Huh? Yeah.
from Piedmont.
You wouldn't be able to find it if it got to New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be there with that one guy who's buried there. The gangster.
He did say it was going to be a dark crossover.
Oh, yeah.
Not Al
It was
Capone,
going to be
yeah.
a dark crossover.
Not Capone, but the other guy.
Oh,
It'll come to me.
yeah,
I'm
whatever.
sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Somebody from New Jersey.
Yeah.
But okay, so I'm curious what.
Hoffa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hoffa.
There we go.
Yeah.
My bad.
Somebody
Ken
get
gave
this-
it to you.
I was
looking
too
for his
nervous
teeth.
to- I
You
didn't-
could have given it to me,
Sometimes
Ken.
you
I
get
was the one
tired
who
of
had the
being wrong,
bid.
Dibbs. I
Jesus,
knew
Ken.
it was Hoffa. I wasn't confident.
Lord.
He gave it to
Two
me.
Dog on here on YouTube had it as well. I don't know. I'm curious, like, kind of what throughout this summer is sort of hitting you guys, because where we started today was this idea of why it feels like there's more buzz and excitement about the off season of the Warriors, but I would also wrap the Niners into that than the actual season itself with the San Francisco Giants. And I'm not sure where you guys are going to go from 2 to 6, but the boss kind of posed the question, and I just thought it was really fascinating because I hadn't thought about it like that. I felt like it was a very easy question to answer, but when we flushed it out over the course of a few hours, it feels like everyone else kind of feels the same. Like it's the consensus.
And I feel like, before you guys go, the sport is dying, so that's not helping the Giants in far, huh?
So I imagine your guys' easy answer was Warriors offseason.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I think I agree, right? I mean,
Well-
Klay Thompson's offseason decision.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
some of it
Sound
is
like
just-
Evan.
Some of it is because it is a huge
Oh, my gosh.
offseason and there's so many questions and it's kind of a turning point. But also, as you're talking about, baseball is dying and the Giants specifically are very boring once again.
That, I think, is the bigger piece of it. And, here we are on May 10th, and, if they go on a little bit of a run and
Thank
they
you.
become better and more relevant, and we get closer to June and, things start to heat up, things will change. But right now, where we sit on May 10th, yes, it's the Warriors. And I would argue that rookie minicamp for the Niners
Wow.
might be number 2.
Look at him.
Because, they're on the field right now, and I'm kind of excited to see what Ricky
Sterling's
Pearsall
there,
looks
yeah,
like. And
our guy.
yeah, we're
Sterling
going to
did
get
it.
reports coming out from Sterling and many others, and what do the rookies look like? But right now with the Giants, it's a whole bunch of it's yawns. You don't have a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. There's not the looking forward to aspect of it right now. That if they play well against the Dodgers, obviously got to beat the Reds first. But if they play well against the Dodgers, they look like they're in their league. That's something that we can discuss in a week or so. But yeah, I mean, right now they've been, I think, disappointing, especially considering what they threw, which we've defined as the kitchen sink at free agency this summer. And there just isn't a looking forward to aspect for them, even though I think the Warriors' future is bleak right now, or not as positive as, say, the 49ers. I'm still looking forward to what that's going to be and where that's going to go. I'm looking forward to the 49ers, even if it's not rookie minicamp. It could be how Brock Purdy is going to look coming off of this offseason, where last season he was under the knife. How Brandon Ayuk is going to be contractually linked to the Niners or not. How's he going to play? How's he going to respond, especially with Deebo Samuel and Nick Bosa talking about the factor of the extension playing into how they performed at the beginning of the season. There's just more to look forward to with those two teams than the Giants, who, by the way, play tonight.
I'm honestly kind of excited for the game tonight. It's just has nothing to do with the Giants. I'm excited to see Ellie De La Cruz.
Right.
Ashcraft?
Graham Ashcraft.
Are you going out there?
I'm not going tonight.
Okay.
But
we got a nice shirt on. I thought maybe you were going out there.
No, I'll see him.
It's just for
I'll
you.
probably go.
Appreciate it.
Probably go on Sunday. Watch the Sunday game.
Okay.
But
I'll be watching tonight.
Ellie is incredible.
Yeah, but they've lost 100 in a row. So that I don't. Evan was like,
on
they
pace
lost,
for like 40
I
and
don't
90.
like that because something's got to give. Now you come. We want to see if Colorado, even though they didn't sweep, and Evan brought you up, 4-6 is different than 3-7.
Totally.
Especially when you're hemorrhaging.
Right.
But I don't like the Reds have been stinky. And then they could come here and kind of win the first game of the series, and now they feel good about themselves. So I don't like that.
It's the Abbott, by the way.
Oh, Andrew Abbott.
Shout out to RZA.
Right.
Yeah.
This feels like a 5-4 homestand. You'll take 2 of 3 from the Natty. The Dodgers will take
Ohtani.
2. Dodgers take 2 of 3.
Giants gonna win
and then
one of those?
You take 2 of 3 against Colorado. The Dodgers won't beat you every time. So if you're going to win
beat you every time in
a
LA.
game, right? That's in LA. That was early. I think it's a 5-4 homestand. Ho hum, and you've got Cincinnati and Colorado, 2 teams that aren't very good, and you'll go 4-2 against them, and then 1-2 against the Dodgers, 5-4. Oh boy, creeping toward 500. Wake me when we get to September.
And to hear Farhan, he don't need me to defend him, but the one thing I will say is he went to the mall and came back with bags, and in the bag was Snell, Soler, Jung Hoo Lee, and Chapman, and for me, I was so just despondent because I felt like he couldn't close a deal. He had got nothing done. So I was lightweight excited. But a month in, and there's more than 100 games left, guys, we got to still give them time. But, Grandi, when I hear him talk about the deadline and now we're getting to a point to where things are turning into, established stuff, I'm like, oh, this is a guy fighting for his job. He's throwing the kitchen sink at everything. You go shopping, and now you got to go back out because what you got might be stale. It's like, I ain't mad at him, but it's so obvious he's trying to hang on. He's going to throw whatever at the kitchen sink, and they might be busy at the deadline if this thing don't turn around or stays the same.
They should be busy.
No shocker. Farhan, I see you, though.
Why should they be busy?
if they continue playing uninspiring baseball, one way or the other, you should be busy, whether it is buying or selling.
What would you sell right now that someone else would want to buy?
Well, it depends how the rest of the season plays out leading up.
Carson Whisenhunt. You're going to sell your prospects because that's the best thing you have to offer, and you try to get Pete Alonso.
So we thought, why are they not up?
Well,
let me see Matos and Luciano fail.
I'm not talking about those guys because I think that, there's a reason why Luciano has been in the minors for 5 years now and, shout out COVID.
So you're done. You ain't excited.
I'm not done, but if he was, going to be a real phenom, he would have been accelerated like Bobby Witt Jr. He's a guy who went boop, 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 boop.
Or Paul
we saw him play last summer, guys.
Paul
You didn't like it?
a year ago.
Yeah, tomorrow. You didn't like it?
Luciano? It was okay.
Schmidt, I know there was a struggle.
Started well.
Shasky was excited for a week. No, I got
for
you.
a week, right?
So have we pulled the plug on those guys?
No, we haven't pulled the plug, but you're not looking at them as like, wow, 2 of those guys were getting Pete Alonso.
Man.
And have you seen... So they called up Ramos.
Yeah, and he got a hit.
And then he didn't play. He came in and pinch hit.
By the way,
he didn't play.
By the way, I'm sorry. I know you want to be excited about new players, but there cannot be a highlight reel made off of a broken bat bloop single into right field.
It's a line drive in the morning.
It's a line drive in the book, too. Ramos is here.
Yeah.
You're such a pitcher.
Dude, I could.
That was a BS hit, and I hate those.
Am I safe?
Can you at least earn it? I mean, you're in Colorado for crying out loud.
That's wrong, Evan.
Just because you posted a picture of you as a pitcher this week.
You saw that?
For the when I was something thread or whatever the hell that was. Yeah. Just because you were like striding out and looking good with the ball up above your ear doesn't mean you get to hate on Ramos's line drive.
No, pitchers' lives matter too. Okay, so that is where I come from. And if you're going to put a baseball about 94 miles an hour on somebody's knuckles, if you're getting in their cocina, that should be an out. And I just hate how we're rewarding it by posting it and plastering it across social media like he achieved something, which was getting jammed and picking up his thumbs on his way to first base.
Well, what about when he squares one up and he hits it 107 miles an hour right to the third baseman who happens to have his glove in the right spot? You as a pitcher, it's like, yeah, pitch them where they are, you know?
I'm not throwing that pitch again to him because he hit the crap out of it.
Right.
All right, I'm about to sick the Evan I know on both of them, Grandi and Dibbs.
Not
Give
afraid.
them what you gave us this morning, Kay and myself, the stat that you love, that you say it's kind of nerdy, but just if you can, the condensed version of that stat.
Oh, yeah. So what's not bugging me, which we'll get to in just a moment,
Yes, sir.
is Mason Miller and the fact that he broke a statistic that I happened to write my college thesis on, which is fielding independent pitching, and bloop,
Your thesis, did you get a master's or?
economics. No, it was
Bachelor's.
bachelor's. Yeah.
He made it sound like he got his doctorate. Theses are normally reserved for doctorates. But go ahead.
Well, in liberal
Oh,
arts
yeah.
programs, you got to write multiple of them, and I am not
What
a
it
fan
was,
of it.
it was a final exam. But,
It was about 45 pages.
whoa,
So,
okay,
I mean,
hefty.
Give it to him.
Anyways,
I'm just going to go ahead and chip away. It's what I do.
I'm excited because I hate stuff like this.
the
No, enjoy
monetary
it now.
explanation of
Because
fielding
Mason
independent
Miller's
pitching.
going to be an A for another 7 weeks.
Wow.
But go
I'm
ahead.
gonna bring in a fair haul that'll probably turn to nothing. But the fielding independent pitching aspect of this is a statistic that is supposed to evaluate how good you are at limiting what you can, which is home runs, walks, hit by pitches, all the rest.
But
Hits
that's
don't count.
ERA, right?
No, because ERA involves hits like Heliot Ramos
my
had, which is a
gosh.
broken bat single down the line, which should not be going against the pitcher. So it's your true ERA. That's the goal of the stat. His FIP right now is negative 0.1, which means, in theory, on a computer, if he pitched 9 innings and the A's scored no runs,
He'd win 0 to -1.
they would win the game.
0 to
how can
-1.
He broke
find
a
that?
stat. That's how good he is.
Right.
Grand,
Right.
But
He's
ERA,
incredible.
you can't manipulate it like that. You
Well,
can.
You can, but an even bigger point, I think, to that, and I'm not refuting what you're saying because he is unbelievably filthy, but he's going to be the reason why they lower the mound.
You think so?
For sure. Last time they lowered the mound, 1968, and a big reason why they lowered the mound was the fact that 8 teams hit below 230. If you look right now in Major League
How
Baseball,
many?
there are 10 teams that are not hitting 230. Hitting now has become too difficult.
Wow.
It's too hard to hit. And yes, the great hitters, and most of them are Dodgers, some of them are Braves,
Nice.
but for the majority of these guys, you can't hit. You can't hit Mason Miller throwing 103. It's not humanly possible. So they're going to find at the end of this year, maybe next year, hitting is too hard. And just like when we were kids, when you used to get like put on timeout and you got a D or you got an F, and now you kids, and I'm looking at you two, Grandi and Evan, you guys never got put on timeout. You got never disciplined.
Or
it
hit.
was, you broke the window. You're just getting one cookie instead
Go
of
get
2
a snack.
today.
Yeah, I
Go
got
get a
it.
cookie.
Can I put you on timeout for 10 seconds?
Do it.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live in the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Attaboy. Don't sniff at that.
What?
Because you read the legal, it's not a sniff.
I've
been listening to him for 4 hours here.
I was watching Three Chicago. Maybe I stole it from Mr. Furley. Shout out Don Knotts.
I love when you sniff on Steiny because he hates it, and
Yeah.
I'm driving on my way into work, and you'll say something that's pretty smart and pretty clever. You go, like, oh my
He
God.
really hates it.
So good.
Well, would you?
Yeah.
No, I was just going to ask. Well, since Dibbs, you have the floor. Would you
Let's
like
do
to
it.
begin What's Bugging You? Brought
Let's
to you by
go.
Atco Pest Control.
I would, because what I have to say is not pleasant.
Oh.
It's not happy, and it's a Friday, and I don't want to be this guy, but F cancer is what I'm going to say.
man.
And what's bugging me is cancer. And we lost somebody who many of us here in this building worked with in the other building. His name was Chris Mezzavia, and he was 41. Let that resonate. 41. And you and I, Goo, I don't even remember being 41, and these two are on their way to 41, and this young man had melanoma, and he fought for 2.5 years, and if you went out to a Niner practice or a training camp, you saw him, and he had the big bucket hat, and he was doing photography. It was his passion. And when I worked with him over on the other side, 13 years ago, he was a young sales associate, like many of our young salespeople here. And he was an up-and-comer, super positive, good looking, father, husband, son, nephew, and all the rest of it. And he got melanoma 2.5 years ago, and I bumped into him about a year ago, and I had no idea. His attitude, the same. His positivity, the same. His outlook, the same. He was an amazing person. And I was, Facebook it's a trap.
Yeah.
Facebook's a trap because you go on there, it's like, so-and-so this and so-and-so that, and you scroll, and it's like, oh, my God, Chris Mezzavia died at 41? It can't be. He will be laid to rest tomorrow in the South Bay. And for those of you out there who know him, for those of you who I know are listening who worked with me over there, and there's about 5 of us who worked over there at that time, I just want you to know that it's something that touched me, and I'm trying to hold it together right now because, Chris Mezzavia, 41, melanoma, cancer. And I don't know if it was a sunscreen thing or if he got, skin cancer or how it happened, whatever. Just get yourself checked, put on the sunscreen, take care of yourself, and remember that this life that we have, it's fleeting. And I hate to bring it down with what's bugging me, but it's been kind of with me all week. And, I was just looking at the Facebook today, and tomorrow's the day where he gets laid to rest. And it's like, damn, dude, 41. So
rest in
that's
peace,
what's bugging
man.
me, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks
appreciate
for
you sharing that,
man.
Dibbs. And I know
it's real.
Yeah, no, got to second that. Not much else to say, and no easy transition.
No,
Thinking
sorry
about
about
his
that.
family. Thinking about his family.
No doubt
Yeah,
about
it's.
it.
You look
And
on
you
Facebook,
guys.
it's like the aunt and the uncle and whatever, and Ryan and Gabe and Kenny and these guys out here. They all worked with me on the other side, and Chris was like, "You guys, I met him when he was your age," and it's like
It's rough.
And you wake up and it's like, "Damn, he's 41. That must mean I'm."
And you saw him, and you never knew.
Dude, no idea. Yeah, he had the zinc on and the floppy hat like everyone does out there. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, I just found out a couple minutes ago. This is actually what's bugging me now. I guess I didn't have to write a thesis for my bachelor's because that's only for master's degrees and
That's what I'm
doctoral work.
saying.
What the hell was I doing in college?
got duped.
I'll tell you what's bugging me. Willamette
Call the
University.
professor.
I didn't even get 2 pieces of paper. I wrote 2 theses
That's a
for
good pivot.
no damn good reason.
That is.
And apparently, a thesis is that worth absolutely nothing unless you bring it with a master's degree. So what's bugging me is I wrote 2 unnecessary thesis papers, and I want my 25 grand back.
you got duped.
Wow, Evan.
I'm a
Yeah.
sucker.
Joe Biden will get it back to you in case
Don't worry.
in case you
When
need.
he's awake. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Mike's on.
Grandpa Joe is forgiving debt.
I can do that
Don't
without
like
signing
my
here.
In case
Jones.
either one of you
Yeah.
has any student loan debt, he's giving it back to you now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna quit touting that. Anyways, Granny, what's
good.
what's bugging you?
This is a little more simple, not quite as heavy hitting as either as those last 2. I hate when I'm browsing the web
Go ahead.
and the web page doesn't load fully, but most of it does, and I'm clicking on a portion of the website, but the rest of the website finishes loading as I'm clicking, and I end up clicking on an ad, and it brings me up like 5 pop-ups and like 5 different windows. I just got to teach myself, wait for a few more seconds, let the full page load, and then do your business, whatever you're clicking on.
Wow.
Every single time. I can't get it in my head. I click it when I see it, then the full page loads, I click on an ad, and then downhill from there.
Wow.
It's bugging me.
Especially streaming sites. God.
Especially streaming sites.
And what's worse, Grandy, is that has become the norm. It's almost like I wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen to me, man.
I just
That's
can't get it
sad.
in my head. I see it, got to click it immediately, but I know better.
What's bugging me? This is kind of a rerun, but I said it earlier in the show. If you missed it, it's
Shout out what's
athletes that
happening
run
now.
from the smoke, and I said Boston is not going to make it because I don't believe in Tatum and Brown, their mental game upstairs, and for Jason Tatum, for a team to win 64 games in the regular season, and everybody in the world, if you agree or not, refer to them as a super team, and they lose a playoff game at home. They got ran out of the building to Cleveland. That's okay. But for Jason Tatum after the game, after all the established OGs and greats of the game has stepped to the podium and said, you know what, let me just take ownership. We got our ass kicked. For Jason Tatum to say, we're not a super team. Our coach didn't get coach of the year. We only had 2 All-Stars, and run down the list of why his team is not a super team, basically embarrassed. I just said, you know what? That's weak sauce. You're running from the smoke. Put the shovel down, because now you're digging a ditch of excuses, because now I've seen a guy that never believed him. Now I seen what's about to come to fruition, and that's Boston's not winning it because they got guys that are supposed to be their ace bam booms coming up with excuses, and now you're telling and selling the world why your team is not a super team. That was so weak. That's your leader. And Boston, you may beat Cleveland this round, but you ain't winning it. I was right.
Who are they losing to?
New York or Indiana. And if you get past that because the East is so weak, you damn sure ain't beating Minneapolis or Denver.
Or OKC.
Right.
Or Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh.
1-1, Dallas and OKC, huh?
Speaking of Dallas, did you see Luka's press conference?
That was crazy.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
Somebody's phone was open.
Yeah, but it was so loud that it had to be
careful.
like into a microphone. That had to be like.
I heard that used to happen at the Forum.
Right, shout out Magic Johnson.
Right.
Yeah.
That was not on a phone.
What was that?
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
yeah.
I'm surprised. I hope Nancy, your mom's not listening.
No,
but-
she is.
But that was weird.
That game was in OKC, right?
Yeah.
So think about it. You got Luka at the podium after beating the Thunder in OKC. Somebody was able to get to a microphone that was able to be patched into the interview room, and they just played something off of the internet.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
There was no live action
And
happening.
Kyrie was going at it with a fan. He told Cuban got to get out of Oklahoma, but Evan, it was weird. I had never
Really weird.
Yeah.
It was weird, but it was,
That's
it was an
killing me
inside
right now.
job.
Okay, I got
it was
you.
an inside
Shout
job.
out. No, that's inside.
Someone
man,
inside
did that.
OKC put that
All right, okay.
into a microphone that was patched into the room
Right.
in order to try and throw Luka
So it
off.
wasn't like the Laker. It was actually happening.
No, that was the 80s when it all went down.
Two
I've heard
microphones.
stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, too.
So someone didn't. I actually didn't catch it. What were they playing? Like the Kendrick disc or what?
Nah,
were they
something a
playing?
little different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
X-rated.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't hear it?
No.
Oh,
You
Are
heard
you,
it.
I tweeted it out. Are
Look
you
it up.
serious?
Well, I'm not on the Triple D
when we're
Guru at
done
all
here,
times.
Well, hey, I'm limited.
There was audio of two people having relations
Yeah.
in the low post.
Loud, Evan.
Yeah.
Now
And
that's a
everybody
browser you
laughed.
can click out of.
Yeah.
that's true.
Exactly.
Really quick, before you guys get out of here, I know you guys were talking about replacements for inside the NBA.
I forgot.
I want you guys. I didn't hear your
Okay.
guys' conversation.
No.
I just heard the topic. Who's your replacements?
I had, Nick Wright is Ernie.
Nick Wright.
Draymond is
I
Barkley.
don't really mind that.
Draymond is Barkley.
Okay, Steinmetz.
Kendrick Perkins.
Exactly.
Kendrick Perkins is
Kenny or
no,
Shaq?
Shaq.
Okay.
And Kenny is Jay Crossover, Jamal Crawford.
I like Jamal.
Yeah, I like
a
Jamal
lot of
and
people didn't
Draymond.
like Nick Wright in that spot.
Yeah, I'm not a
No.
huge Nick Wright
Get
fan.
him out of
Well,
there.
who would you hide?
I love
Big
Nick
Shot?
Wright, to be honest.
Instead of who? He was Ernie?
All four of them.
Oh, dude, he was Ernie.
Yeah.
Nick Wrong was Ernie.
Yeah.
Get him the Chuck out of there.
What about Dre for Chuck and Kendrick Perkins for Shaq? They would be fighting.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay,
That's
all
not
right,
bad. Kenny, you need to say
Oh.
Jay Crawford. Yeah,
Baby Stein.
I gave him the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, we'll be